I'm going to tell you a story that I guarantee is going to blow your mind, but it's going to teach you something. Ready? About 2 years ago, I was attempting to sell an asset, right? I'm going to call it an asset because I don't want to name names, to a particular company. Now, this particular company had a director of marketing that I had a strong rapport with. I was developing a stronger rapport with this individual by the day. We talked, we laughed, we humanized each other, right? It wasn't just business, it was a form of friendship, but the reason the friendship was able to develop was because he trusted that I looked out for the best interest of his business, and I trusted that he was a valued partner and would do honest business. So as we're working together, as we're trying to get a large deal done for a particular asset, my company and I directly made the pitch to this individual. The pitch was for $250,000, okay? I pitched his company, this asset is going to be $250,000. And he evaluated it. He said, okay, John, I'm going to get with my team and we're going to get back to you. I said, okay, great. Obviously, explained to him the value of the asset, and I waited. Well, I got a phone call. About 3 days later. He said, John, congrats. We're going to go with you. We're gonna wire you 150 today. We'll wire you the 100,000 in 30 days if that works. I said, absolutely, that works. Well, a month or 2 months, probably about 2 months went by, and we're on the phone. Well, we're talking about this particular asset that we made a deal for, and he says to me, I got offered that same exact asset by someone else who was representing a particular athlete, the athlete's the asset, directly. I said, oh, you did? And I got to admit, I don't sweat much, right? But at that point, I felt it a little bit. I said, okay, what do you have to say? He said, well, he offered me the same thing you offered me, but, we decided to go with you. And I said, oh, I appreciate that. Obviously, we're going to take care of you much more than he is. That's why I assume you went with us. He goes, well, that's exactly why we went with you, because I'm going to tell you right now, your price was 5 times higher. He said that individual offered the same asset for $50,000. And this guy paid me $250,000 on my mother. I'm telling you the truth. For the same asset. At that point, me, a guy who doesn't sweat, my heart dropped. And I went in defense mode because I thought he was going to completely attack me because he spent $200,000 more on an asset through me than going through another person. Well, right as I started to talk and go into my pitch, he said, stop, John. And I said, okay. He goes, you don't need to explain yourself. He said, everybody here at our company trusts you, believes in you, and want to know what's more valuable than money to us? I said, what's that? He goes, knowing that the job is going to be done right. Because he doesn't want to lose his job because he procured an asset and we don't come through. He didn't want to have that risk with his CEO. So he said, listen, we look at that $200,000 as insurance because we know you're the best at what you do. Okay? And this story isn't about me being the best. What this story is about is when people sell things. Somebody tried to sell that man something for $50,000, but he bought the same thing from me for $250,000. Why? Not because I'm God, not because I'm the smartest person in the world, but because I provided him with comfort, because I had rapport with him, I cared about him, and because he believed that the value I was selling, I would deliver thoroughly, versus most salespeople who simply sell you on a dollar amount. How crazy is it? Someone's saying 50,000, 50,000, 50,000. What I'm saying the whole time is this is so valuable to your business, for this reason and that. I'm not talking about money. But when it comes time for the money, I believe in the value, right? I believe in the value that I'm pitching. And that's why when I came to the dollar amount, I said it's $250,000. Because I knew my time, my strategy, my effort is worth that. Well, he happened to agree with me. So for all you guys out there who sell stuff, man, it's not about price dropping. It's about showing your client or your potential client value, right? I say don't sell, educate. A good salesperson educates the client on why the value of the asset that you're trying to sell is the value. You don't just talk about the price. Man, that's terrible. That's awful. If you sell on price, man, you got to go back to sales school. Guys, sell on value. And my tip to you is educate your client as opposed to sell them. And then the money will just fall in line and they will happily buy. Activate. Out.